Okay, so for this video, we have crime cases in a county in New York. We have the years since 2013. So how we interpret this is 2 would be 2 years after 2013 or 2015. 5 would be 5 years after or 2018. Corresponding to that, we have a number of new cases of the specific types of crime that they're talking about. We want to get a linear regression equation. Okay, so that's going to allow us to predict the relationship between the year and how many crimes were reported in that year. So again, let's look at a quick example. This is year since 2013, so 3 represents 2016, and that says that there's 827 new crimes in that particular county. So we're going to use this relationship to try to make a prediction for the year 2025. And we're going to round it to the nearest whole number. So what we need to do is first, we're going to copy the values to our calculator. So we click this guy, copy the values to the calculator, and then it doesn't look like it does anything, but it's doing something. It's keeping the values in memory. Then I click Open Statistics Calculator. You'll see that the values that I have there are going to be the same. I can paste in the same values, 5801. And if I go back here, 5801. Now, all I need to do is come up to here, to this menu, and I am going to click the Calc menu and Linear Regression. I could do Calculate. It doesn't matter if I have off or on for the diagnostic. It just gives you a little more information that you don't strictly need. So this says that A is negative 25. Basically, what that means is the crime is decreasing by about 25.6 cases per year, starting with 914.7. So 914.7. So then what I'm going to do, going back here, I'm going to use this to make an equation, putting in negative 25.6 for A and 914.7 for B. Although it says to the nearest tenth. So let's see. So y equals negative 25.7, because I'm going to round it up to the nearest tenth, negative 25.7, and b will be 914.7. So down here, I can put that right in. Y equals negative 24.7. I'll double check these. X minus 914. I'm positive I got that right, so I'm going to double check. So it's negative 25.7 and 914.7. 25.7, 914.7. You just need to copy those across. Negative 25.7, negative minus 914.7. Yes, they do match up. All right, now that I have this, I can use it to calculate my final answer. So I have to plug in the year 2025. But I don't actually just put in 2025 for X. This is measured, again, in years since 2013. So 2025 is 12 years after 2013. 13 plus 12 is 25. So therefore, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in X. I'm going to solve for X equals 12. 12 years after 2013 is 2025. So what I'm going to do, therefore, is I'm going to say that y is equal to negative 25.7 minus 9. I'm sorry, I forgot the times. That's an important part of it. Negative 25.7 times 12. The 12 goes into here. So times 12, and then minus 914.7. So at this point, you can get out your calculator and do this. 25.7 times 12 minus 914.7. Actually, this should actually be plus. I realized that as I was starting to do it. Minus doesn't make sense. That would give me a negative number. So I'm also going to change it down here to a plus. And again, if I look over here, this is a positive number and it's a plus b. So I made that mistake, but I caught it because I was like, it doesn't make sense for that number to be negative. So now I do negative 25.7 times 12 plus 914.7. The answer I get from that calculation is 606.3. That makes sense. Generally, the trend is going down. And here this says that my trend is going down by about 25, 26 cases per year. So I'm going to guess my final answer is 606. But it asked me the nearest whole number. So you round it down to 606. We're going to just drop that 0.3, and I'm going to answer 606. And I got it right. So again, if I look down here, you saw this in the previous video. This is the data that's given. If you imagine the line continuing, by the time you get 12 years down the road, you're hoping the cases drop to 606. Now, of course, this line will eventually get below 0. So in reality, it just can't go on like that forever. But that gives us a good idea of the trend. And 606 is the approach.